Isang makakalikasang umaga po sa ating lahat. I am Karen Pakpako from the Environmental Management Bureau, your host for today's press conference in celebration of the World Ozone Day and the official kickoff of the Stage 2 HCFC Phase-Out Management Plan project, organized by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, or UNIDO. This press conference for the World Ozone Day is very timely because today we are commemorating the 36th anniversary of the Montreal Protocol. This year's theme is Montreal Protocol, keeping us, our food, and vaccines cool. To officially welcome us to this event and to deliver his message for the World Ozone Day for the preservation of the ozone layer, allow me to introduce to you the DNR Undersecretary for Policy, Planning, and International Affairs, who is also the National Focal Coordinator for Montreal Protocol and HCFC Phase-Down Programs and Projects in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome DNR Undersecretary, Attorney Jonas R. Leones.
Thank you, Ms. Karen. To all guests, media partners, partner agencies, and private organizations, a very pleasant day. Today marks the 36th year of the Montreal Protocol on protecting the ozone layer, one of the most successful global environmental agreements to which the Philippines is proud to be a party along with 196 other state signatories. Our efforts to phase out the use of ozone-depleting substances in our country have certainly contributed to the healing of the ozone layer, making our planet a safer habitat. In this year's World Ozone Day, we highlight the fact that the Montreal Protocol does so much more, such as allowing climate change and helping to boost energy efficiency in the cooling sector, which contributes to food security. Many ozone-depleting substances aggravate the warming of our planet. Thus, by phasing out the use of these substances in our country, we are actually helping mitigate climate change. Also, in the process of gradually being phased out are hydrofluorocarbons, or HCFCs. The 2016 Kigali Amendment to the 1987 Montreal Protocol has set 2045 as the deadline for the phase out of HFCs. Although HFCs contribute little to the depletion of the ozone layer, these refrigerants, however, are powerful greenhouse gases with exponential value of carbon equivalents. Reducing the use of HFCs, therefore, as agreed through the Kigali Amendment, aims to avoid global temperature rise of up to 0.4 degrees Celsius by the end of the century while continuing to protect the ozone layer. The DNR has put together the documents necessary for our country's ratification of the Kigali Amendment, and we have forwarded them to the appropriate agencies to start up the ratification process. Kigali Amendment also provides an opportunity to improve energy efficiency in the cooling sector. The new technology that will replace HFCs will redesign air conditioning and refrigeration units to use less power, allowing expansion of comfort cooling and cold chain efficiencies with lesser time climate impacts. By developing cold chain solutions that are more efficient, more climate friendly, and cheaper to buy and operate, cold chains will greatly improve our food security. Our government is serious in its commitment to the global phase-out of ozone-depleting substances and later to finally mark the phase-down of HCFCs once we have ratified the Kigali Amendment. The DNR, through the able leadership of Secretary Roy A.C. Matu, will continue to work with other government agencies and other stakeholders in partnership with the international community in implementing the Montreal Protocol and its amendment to keep our environment and our food, including vaccines, cool and safe for human consumption. Mabuhay! Happy World Ozone Day to everyone.
Thank you, Yusek Leones, for that very informative and inspiring message. And now, to walk us through the Montreal Protocol and the Kigali Amendment, and the updates on the implementation of the Philippine commitment to the Montreal Protocol and ozone-depleting substances phase out, let us hear from the EMB Assistant Director, who is also the overall coordinator for the Montreal Protocol and the HFC phase down programs and projects. Let's all welcome DNR EMB Assistant Director, Engineer Bisminda A. Osorio.
Thank you very much, Ms. Karen, and of course to our dear Undersecretary Jonas Leones, and of course Ms. Bel Rosa Buraga of United Nations Industrial Development Organization. Thank you very much, and of course good morning everyone. So it is a great pleasure for us to present the country's milestone on the implementation of Montreal Protocol in the country, and this will enable us to come up with an informed decision geared towards the country's ratification of the said amendment. So next, our presentation will consist of the following topics: a quick overview of the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer, and what are the treaties and its various amendments, and then the main elements of the Kigali Amendment, particularly the overview of the Kigali Amendment and its objectives, as well as specific regulations on the HCFC phased down by the Article 5 and non-Article 5 countries. And lastly, countries' commitment and compliance to ozone layer protection. Next. First, let me give you a quick overview of the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer. Through the 1970s and the 1980s, the international community became increasingly concerned that ozone-depleting substances, or ODS, would harm the ozone layer. So in 1985, the Vienna Convention for the Protection of the Ozone Layer formalized the international cooperation of on this issue. The Vienna Convention is often called a framework convention because it is served as a framework for efforts to protect the Earth's ozone layer. And in 1987, the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer was adopted, that made the Montreal Protocol a legally binding agreement for parties to take concrete action to control ozone-depleting substances, or ODS. In accordance with the protocol, parties agreed to gradually phase out the consumption of ozone-depleting substances. As a manifestation of strong global support to the Vienna Convention and the Montreal Protocol, the two ozone treaties have been ratified by 197 parties, consist of 196 states and the European Union in 2009, making them the first universally ratified treaties in United Nations history. What are the key achievements of this Montreal Protocol? So since the entry into force in 1999, the following achievements can be attributed to the Montreal Protocol. First, elimination of ozone-depleting substances, wherein over 98% of 96 ozone-depleting substances have been phased out globally. Second, healing the ozone layer based from the continued atmospheric measurements show a decreasing trend in the size of the ozone hole. It is projected that the ozone layer will revert back to its original state by the period 2050 to 2075. This is based on the premise that the phase out of ODS will be sustained by all parties to the protocol. Third, contribution to prevent global warming, wherein most of the ODS are also global warming gases. Thus, ODS phase out will also result in the prevention of global warming. The protocol is one of the prime contributors to the fight against climate change, as it averted more than 135 billion tons of carbon dioxide equivalent emissions. Fourth, global participation. The success of the Montreal Protocol is mainly due to strong cooperation among the government, the private sector, the manufacturers of ODS, manufacturers of ODS-based equipment, importers, and importers of ODS and ODS-based equipment, and the servicing sector, and the general public through the use of ozone layer friendly alternatives. Fifth, supporting developing countries. One of the components of the Montreal Protocol strategy is assistance to developing countries to enable the manufacturing and servicing sectors in those countries to shift the ozone layer friendly alternatives. Six, high rates of compliance. There is a reduction in ODS consumption in accordance with the Montreal Protocol targets, and the phase-out schedule has been achieved in both developed and developing countries. Seventh, global recognition of the Montreal Protocol, wherein the said protocol has been very widely recognized as one of the most successful environmental agreements. And eight, health benefits. Through the phase-out of ODS, adverse impacts on agriculture, animals, forests, marine life, natural ecosystems, and materials have been prevented. In addition, up to 2 million cases of skin cancer may be prevented each year by 2030. So now, please allow me also to walk through the achievements of the Philippines and the status of its compliance in phasing out the identified ozone-depleting substances in the Philippines, in line with the phase-out schedule since the adoption of the Montreal Protocol and its amendments and adjustments. CFCs, halon, CTC, methyl chloroform, methyl bromide. As you can see, all of ODS are already phased out except for the last group of ODS, the hydrochlorofluorocarbons or HCFCs, which is still due for phase out by 2040. The details of the new HCFC phase-out schedule is contained in Decision 6 of the meeting of the parties in 2007. And the latest amendments and adjustments of the control measures under the Montreal Protocol is the control measures for HCFCs. For our HCFC phase-out status, we have reduced 23.9% of HFC consumption in the year 2015 from our baseline consumption, much higher than our target of 10%. While in the year of 2018, our consumption of HCFC already reduces to 34.6%, near to the year 2020 target of 35% reduction from the HCFC baseline consumption. As you can observe on the graph, the 2019 reduction rate is at 35.94%. However, the importation data for 2020 have decreased mainly because of the global pandemic that we are still currently experiencing. So this means that we need to maintain the reduction until end of 2024. This is the graph of the Philippines HCFC consumption from the year 2013 to year 2018 together with our HCFC baseline consumption. So in the year 2013 to 2014, we maintain a lower consumption than our target, not to exceed HCFC baseline consumption value. The same in the year of 2015 to 2018, we also maintain lower than our target of a 10% reduction from our HCFC baseline consumption. So you will also observe that starting from 2015 to 2018, our HCFC consumption is slowly reducing. This shows that we can easily meet the target of 35% reduction for 2020. So let me now present to you the overview of the Kigali Amendment and its objectives, which is the focus of this roundtable discussion. So HCFCs are commonly used as an alternative to ozone-depleting substances or ODS, while HCFCs are not ozone-depleting substances or ODS themselves. They are greenhouse gases which can have high or very global warming potentials ranging from about 12 to 14,800. So this led to the adoption of the Kigali Amendment by the parties to the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer on its 20th meeting in Kigali, Rwanda on October 15 of 2016, wherein they reached an agreement to phase down the production and the consumption of hydrofluorocarbons or HFCs. The phase down of HFCs under the Montreal Protocol started its negotiation in 2009, and the successful Kigali Amendment continues the historic legacy of the Montreal Protocol. The main objective of the Kigali Amendment is to reduce the emissions of powerful greenhouse gases that could prevent up to 0.5 degrees Celsius or global warming by the end of this century, while continuing to protect the ozone layer. So the significant control measures and adjustments that were agreed under the amendment are: first, the Kigali Amendment will enter into force on January 1 of 2019, which have provided that it is ratified by at least 20 parties or 90 days after ratification by the 20th party, whichever is later. Second, in view of the differing circumstances of the parties, two groups, each of Article 5 or developing countries and non-Article 5, which is developed countries, have been established with the different baseline years and phase down schedules. So details of this will be discussed to you on the later part of the presentation. Third, then a new Annex F on HFCs has been added to the protocol, which will be showed and discussed to you later. And fourth, the global warming potential values have been added to the protocol text for HFCs and selected HCFCs and CFCs. The original Montreal Protocol text contained ozone-depleting potential values for the controlled substances. And fifth, it is required that reporting of parties on its production, consumptions, imports, exports, and emissions, as well as consumption baselines of HFCs shall be expressed in carbon dioxide equivalents. Six, the baselines are to be calculated from both HFCs and HCFCs production consumption values and also in carbon dioxide equivalents. Seven, the parties also adopted the exemption for high ambient temperature countries where suitable alternatives do not exist for use on the specific subsector. This exemption allows for a delay in the HFC freeze date and the initial control obligations by an initial duration of 4 years. And eight, the import and the export licensing systems for HFCs must be in place by January 1 of 2019. And nine, the trade with parties have that not ratified the amendment called the non-parties will be banned from January 1, 2033. And lastly, 10th, the Executive Committee of the Multilateral Fund has been requested by the meeting of the parties to develop within 2 years the guidelines for financing the phase down of HFCs. So due to the adoption of the Kigali Amendment, this slide shows the HFC phase down schedule for Article 5 parties or developing countries under the Montreal Protocol, including the Philippines. So these are two groups of Article 5 parties with different baseline years and phase down schedules. So for the Philippines fall under the Group 1 category, wherein the baseline for the phase down will be determined by calculating the average production or consumption of HFCs in the identified baseline years of 2020, 2021, and 2022, plus the 65% of the baseline production consumptions of HCFCs. So the gradual reduction steps will follow starting with a freeze by 2024. So this means that the country cannot exceed its consumption from the recorded baseline level. And by 2029, this will be the start of the HFC consumption or importation reduction by 10% and followed by 30%, 50%, and 80% reduction by 2035 and 2040 and 2045 respectively from the recorded baseline. So therefore, a maximum of 20% of the baseline consumption of importation will only be allowed for the country's consumption after the year 2045, which will be used for the servicing sector. Group 2 has a later freeze and the phase down steps compared with Group 1, with a freeze date of 4 years later, 2028 compared with 2024. And the end years are 2045 for Group 1 Article 5 countries, while 2047 for Group 2 Article 5 countries. Due to the advent to to the Kigali amendments to the Montreal Protocol that came into effect on January 1 of 2019, we have prepared a new memorandum circular amending MC 2005-3, namely clarifications to the requirements of registration on importation of alternatives to ODS. So its objective is to monitor the trend of importation of these alternative substances and identify sectors that using such for the purpose of managing the country consumption. A new set of ODS alternatives have been added to this law, like HFOs, HFO blends, and the HCs and the HC blends. So to give you an update on the status of the ratification, the Certificate of Concurrencies or COCs issued by the concerned government agencies supporting the Kigali Amendment to phase down HCFCs have completed and submitted and consolidated. Now it was endorsed to the Office of the Secretary of the DNR also for concurrence, and endorsement to the Department of Foreign Affairs for review, concurrence, and endorsement to the Office of the President, then to the Philippine Senate. So this is just the graphical presentation of the figures in the previous slide on the phase down schedule. The orange curve shows the phase down schedule of the majority of Article 5 parties, where the Philippines is included in this category. This graph shows that starting 2023, set a baseline consumption and establish quota allocation for importer and will no longer accommodate a new importer of HFCs. And by January of 2024, we will start the freeze consumption, meaning not to exceed the set baseline consumption, then follows a phase down schedule up to year 2045. So the phase down of HFCs will provide significant environmental benefits, and it will stimulate a lot of innovation and design improvements. Some of the key benefits of the Kigali Amendment are, and the advantage to avoid the high GWP HFCs currently used in non-A5 countries by starting the phase down early. So to give you an update with the preliminary activities conducted in preparation for Kigali Amendments ratification, we already first proposed the drafted chemical control order for HFC phase down, and second, conducted several capacity building for customs officers and other enforcers. And third, organized the awareness and information activities on related to HFC phase down. And fourth, continuous collaboration and coordination with government agencies like Department of Energy, Department of Trade and Industry, Bureau of Customs, and the local government units, partnered industries, and other relevant stakeholders. And fifth, provide trainings, workshops of technicians on the use of HFC alternatives. And sixth, technical assistance in the application of HFC's alternatives technology. And this graph shows the Philippine HFC consumption from 2010 to 2022 based from the importation clearances issued by the Environmental Management Bureau. So majority of the HFC species imported are R1334A or HFC-134A, which has a global warming potential value of 1,430. So this will be the basis for the proposed HFC phase down program of the government once the Kigali Amendment is ratified. So our compliance to the commitments and the obligations as party to the Montreal Protocol has been achieved through the implementation of the following activities. So with the financial and technical assistance provided from the Multilateral Fund of the Montreal Protocol and its implementing agencies such as the World Bank, the UN Environment or UNEP, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization or UNIDO, and the United Nations Development Program or UNDP, and now the Global Environment Facility or GEF. So this consists of the development of the national strategies to phase out ozone depleting substances composed of the following activities: conduct of capacity buildings and trainings for handling ODS alternatives in the servicing, manufacturing, and production sectors, and the implementation of the institutional strengthening programs and imposition of licensing and quota systems to the importers, exporters of ODS for monitoring purposes, and reduction of importation consumption of ODS geared towards the country's compliance to its obligations to the Montreal Protocol. And we are also required to report our ODS consumption and country program data to the Ozone Secretariat for their monitoring purposes, and of course to provide us proper guidance on the phasing out of this ODS. As mentioned here, here are some of the current projects under the country's commitment which help to meet our compliance with regards to the international agreements. So first, the Institutional Strengthening Project Phase 12. The ISP serves as the backbone for all projects under the Philippine Ozone Desk and helps the government adhere to its responsibilities under the Montreal Protocol by implementing the country's phase-out program and mandates under the UNEP as the implementing agency. So the ISP has two main objectives: to strengthen the capacity of the National Ozone Unit and other national stakeholders for effective implementation of the Montreal Protocol, and ensure continuous enforcement of ODS regulation and licensing systems to control and monitor importation of ODS to be able to meet and sustain compliance to the Montreal Protocol, including the preparation and implementation of the HCFC-PMP, Kigali Amendment, and other related projects. And for HCFC Phase-Out Management Plan Stage 2, the main objective of HPMP Stage 2 is to support the government of the Philippines to meet its HCFC phase-out obligations under the Montreal Protocol. As mentioned a while ago, the action plan is set to eliminate HCFC consumption equivalent to 35% of the baseline to meet the 2020 obligation. HPMP Stage 2 is a mix of investment, which are the technical assistance project to assist industries in shifting to non-HCFC technology, and non-investment project, which are the training, capacity building, public awareness activities, policy and of course, regulatory support. These projects are under UNIDO, which aim to phase out HCFC in the different sector. So, and lastly, the enabling activities for the ratification of the Kigali Amendment to phase down HCFCs. So, enabling activities for the ratification of the Kigali Amendment to phase down HCFCs is still project implemented by UNIDO. So this project aims to facilitate and support the early ratification of the Kigali Amendment and promote countries' specific activities and national strategies in order to prepare for and to fulfill the HCFC's phase down schedule. Next. So thank you very much for listening my presentation.
Thank you, AD Osorio, for providing us with a comprehensive implementation and status of compliance relative to our international phase-out and reduction commitment to the Montreal Protocol. Before we proceed to the next part of our program, may I request everyone to please watch this very short video in World Ozone Day 2021, Montreal Protocol, Keeping Our Food and Vaccines Cool. I guess we are having okay.
What can't be seen but protects us from the sun? It's key for our survival. Plants, animals, everyone. For many years, we didn't realize our fridges and hairstyles were harming it. But 35 years ago, we started fighting to protect it. We're talking about the ozone layer, the huge hole we created, and the Montreal Protocol that was put in place to fix it. We've achieved so much through this global treaty. Phasing out ozone-depleting substances was a successful remedy, but some replacement substances are just as harmful to our climate as before and more. So we had to find new solutions to which we all needed to commit. The Kigali Amendment asks countries to phase down some of these. Coolant gases called hydrofluorocarbons, better known as HFCs, while they don't harm the ozone layer, they're powerful GHGs. This amendment is also pushing us to innovate in the cooling sector, building more efficient, affordable systems, making refrigeration better. This in turn is helping us reduce food loss and waste everywhere, creating food systems that are stronger, with more food to be shared. And in the midst of a global pandemic, a tough and deadly fight, these cold systems are playing a role in advancing our global fight by keeping vaccines between 2 to 8 degrees as they travel across the globe. They're protecting people from the virus and helping to bring hope. The Montreal Protocol is so much more than ozone protecting rules. It's also about finding sustainable ways to keep us, our food, and vaccines cool.
And now, let's proceed to the official kickoff of the DENR-UNIDO Stage 2 HCFC Phase-Out Management Plan, or HPMP project. Excuse me. This project is expected to provide support to the Philippine government to meet its commitment to the Montreal Protocol. UNIDO is DNR's official partner for this project. And to give us more details about it and the available support for the Philippines, let us welcome the HPMP National Project Coordinator, Ms. Belrose B. Buraga.
Thank you very much, Ms. Karen. So good morning, everyone. I am here to share with you the latest partnership between the DENR and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. So while we're waiting for the presentation, okay, so this project entitled Philippines Stage 2 HCFC Phase-Out Management Plan is a timely support to the government because this project will help the government in terms of its international obligations to meet its commitment to the Montreal Protocol. So for the next slide, I will present the project summary. So this project, as I said, is a UNIDO project with DENR as the lead government agency. Okay, so for the next slide. Okay, so what is the summary of this project? So this project started its implementation in 2019, and it will be implemented until the end of 2022. And it has a budget of around $868,000 with the funding source from the Multilateral Fund of the Montreal Protocol. So who are the project's focal person for this? So it is our Undersecretary Jonas Leones, who is our ODS National Coordinator at the same time. And he will be assisted by Engineer William Coñado, who is the Director of EMB and who is also the designated ODS Project Director. Engineer Visminda Osorio will also assist in the project, being also the designated overall project coordinator for ODS phase out and HFC phase down. So for the part of UNIDO, the project manager is Mr. Adnan Atwa, who is based in UNIDO Vienna office, and I will be the national coordinator for this project. Okay, so there are also other project partners for this endeavor. We have also the Department of Finance through the Bureau of Customs. Another partner agency will be the Department of Trade and Industry. We also have the TESDA, which is the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, and also the Department of Energy and the private sectors. Okay, so what is the overall project aim of the project? Okay, so for the project objective, so as I said, this is basically to support the government in its obligation under the Montreal Protocol. So what is this obligation? The Philippine government is required to meet a 35% HCFC reduction from its baseline consumption by January 1, 2020. And a further reduction is required from the government in order to reduce its consumption by up to 50% reduction in HCFC by January 1 of 2021. So for the project impact, it is expected that around a minimum of 0.5 million CO2 equivalent tons will be avoided if this project will be successfully implemented. And additional benefits will also accrue due to the ban on the import of HCFC-based equipment. The banning on the import of HCFC-based equipment. Okay, so what are the expected major outputs for this project? So as I said, for the first bullet, it is expected to help the government in reducing its HCFC consumption by 35% and 50% HCFC reduction for the years 2020 and 2021 respectively. And it will also leverage industry cooperation to extend the effect of the Stage 1 HPMP project, which is actually the phase out of HCFC 141B in the foam manufacturing sector. So for this, we will have also a strong awareness campaign in terms of the proper handling of the refrigerants in the servicing sector. And the last major output will be the policy support. So there will be an issuance on the banning on the manufacturing of HCFC-22 air conditioners with a cooling capacity of less than 36,000 BTU an hour. And also, the second policy that has to be in place would be on the ban on the imports of HCFC-22 air conditioners. So aside from that, we would like also to emphasize that the Montreal Protocol also contributes to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. So what are the components of this project? There are 4 components identified, the first one being the technical assistance for policy enforcement and for the customs officers, for them to train, for the project to be able to train and update the capacity of those persons in the Bureau of Customs in order for them to properly implement the phase out of ozone depleting substances. And then the second component will be the technical assistance to promote the good refrigeration practices and to be able to demonstrate and encourage the use of low global warming potential alternatives. The third component will focus on the technical assistance for the refrigeration and aircon sector. So this is basically to promote low GWP alternatives. And the last one is the management of the project. So I would like also to present to you the accomplishments of the HPMP Stage 2 for the first tranche. So for the first tranche, we have consulted the DNR-EMB and updated the action plan for the Stage 2 project, and we held continuous capacity building and technical assistance activities. We also had consultations with the aircon manufacturers who were previously using the HCFC-22 as their refrigerant in producing the air conditioners. But right now, they are no longer, our local manufacturers in the Philippines are no longer using HCFC-22 in the production of air conditioners. So they are using a non-ODS technology already. We also had, I think, about 4 trainings for the customs and other enforcement officers on ODS in order to prepare them on how to detect what are the types of the refrigerants and what cylinders or refrigerants should not be allowed to come in our country. Also, we turned over 23 units of multi-refrigerant identifiers to DNR-EMB in December of 2020, and a verification of the Philippines HCFC consumption for the period 2016 to 2020 was also conducted. This is basically to check if the Philippines is compliant to its international commitment. Okay, so these are just some of the photos of the activities during our training with the Bureau of Customs and other enforcement agencies. Okay, I would like to report to you the result of the summary of the audit findings for the verification of the HCFC consumption in the Philippines for the period 2016 to 2020. Okay, so the Philippines is required to submit its data to the Montreal Protocol yearly. They are required, I mean the government is required to submit to the Ozone Secretariat as well as to the Multilateral Fund Secretariat in order for them to monitor the compliance of the Philippines. And for this task, UNIDO hired a third-party consultant to verify if the implementation of the phase out in the Philippines is within the requirements of the Montreal Protocol. So I would like to report the summary of this third-party verification audit wherein based on the comparison of the Philippines HCFC importation data with the multi-year agreement targets, or the MYA, that is actually the target set by the Montreal Protocol that limits the country's importation. So the country is only allowed to import based on the multi-year agreement target. So as you can see in the slide, for 2017 up to 2020, as you can see that the MYI target for Philippines is 129.52 from 2017 to 2019. And based from the audit findings, the HCFC import the actual amount of the HCFC imported in the Philippines is actually below the maximum allowable consumption. So basically, this means that there is already a decreasing trend in the importation from 2016 to 2020 and a marked decrease in 2020. And the HCFC import values are within the multi-year agreement targets for the years 2017 to 2020. And for the last findings, the HCFC import data show that the Philippines is compliant to its HCFC phase-out reduction commitment to the Montreal Protocol for the years 2017 to 2020. So that's the result of the third-party audit. So the implementation of the HCFC phase-out in the Philippines is within the requirements of the Montreal Protocol. Okay, so this will be, the next slide we will focus on what are the second tranche activities for this project. So these activities will be implemented starting August 2021 to December of 2022. So this project will focus on technical assistance and capability building activities, updating of the existing data management system. This means we will be providing assistance to the Environmental Management Bureau in order to update its licensing system in order to accommodate what are the latest requirements from our international partners. And then there will be also the updating of the training facilities of TESDA and TESDA accredited institutions. So there will be a provision of training materials, equipment, for them to properly train the technicians who are handling ozone-depleting substances. And of course, the strengthening of the HCFC licensing and quota system of our partner, the Environmental Management Bureau. And there will be also an assistance for the Department of Energy, wherein we will try to coordinate with them in order to develop or maybe update the minimum energy performance standards if there's a need to do so. Technical assistance and awareness raising for the overall refrigeration and aircon sector will also be the focus of this project. This is basically to reduce the use of refrigerant 410A, which has a high global warming potential, and also to promote low GWP alternatives. There are also other activities apart from this. One of these is the technical support for the Central Recycling Center, and a training will be also conducted in terms of minimizing the leakage of R22 in the aircon and refrigeration equipment. Studies will also be conducted which will focus on the potential alternatives for the fire protection applications, because one of the HCFCs, which is HCFC 123, is being used by our fire people. So kasama po yun sa ginagamit po siya currently sa pagpigil ng what do you call that? Yung ng pag-prevent ng fire. And a study will also be conducted in order to determine what are the potential low alternatives for 404A and 507, and training on the proper measures to minimize the leakage of these high ODP refrigerants. Okay, so for the summary of this project, so basically I would like to impart to you the following information. The ozone layer protects people and life on Earth, and the successful implementation successfully protecting the ozone layer help deliver many of the sustainable development goals, and the Philippines' cooperation with all nations to protect the ozone layer by phasing out HCFCs gradually. And then for this project, the HPMP project will provide support to the government to meet its obligations for the phase out, and a minimum of 0.5 million CO2 equivalent tons of emissions will be avoided if this project will be implemented successfully. And we will leverage industry cooperation in the servicing sector, and a policy support is expected to be developed with this project, which is the banning on the manufacturing of HCFC 22 air conditioners with cooling capacity of less than 36,000 BTU an hour. And lastly, a policy on banning the import of HCFC 22 air conditioners. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Boraga. We are looking forward to this partnership as the Philippines continues to successfully reduce the HCFC consumption. At this point, let me turn over the floor to Ms. Roby Ceballo of the DNR Strategic Communications and Initiative Service, who will be our moderator for the open forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Karen. Good afternoon, everyone, and to our media partners over Zoom, and to those participants watching us over our Facebook Live at DNR Official. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat, and isang makakalikasang hapon muli. Ayan, ako po ang magiging moderator sa Q&A portion. Before we proceed to the Q&A proper, let me read some guidelines. To post your questions, kindly state your name and your media affiliation. Also, please wait for us to recognize you. Third, unmute only when it is your turn to ask questions. Fourth, you may also post your questions by typing in the Zoom chat, or by clicking the raise hand button, or you may also post your questions over the QA icon on your screens. Finally, we will appreciate questions which are related to number 1, the celebration of the World Ozone Day, and number 2, the commencement of the stage 2 of the HCFC phase-out plan in the country. Okay, I think everybody's ready. I will pose the first 3 questions. Okay, first question is for Ms. Bel Boraga, our UNIDO project coordinator for the phase-out of HCFCs. Can you share with us the current state of the ozone layer? Basically, what is happening up there?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ms. Rob. Okay, so the ozone layer is actually the Earth's shield in order to protect those who are living doon. So currently there is a thinning of the ozone layer because of ozone depletion, and because of this, our Earth is at risk, because this means that more UVB radiation is coming in the Earth.
Thank you, Ms. Belrose. The next question is for our ENB Assistant Director and the overall coordinator for Montreal Protocol and HFC Phase Down Projects, Engineer Minda Osorio. Recognizing the adverse effects of ODS in the ozone layer, what can industries do to save it as well as help mitigate climate change?
Thank you. So, based on my presentation, we have a programs that mitigate and address the specific for the industry sector. So, the main objective of this is the phase out of those HCFCs and HFCs. So, in-expect natin that we will phase out those refrigerants that are high global warming potential and high depleting substance potential. So as you see in my presentations, mostly are affected of this phase out and the phase down programs is the air conditioning sector, the refrigeration sector, and of course yung atin pong mga ginagamit ng ating sa fire refrigerants na ginagamit to prevent fire. Yes.
Thank you, AD Minda. And the third question is for Undersecretary Jonas Leones, the National Focal Coordinator for Montreal Protocol and HFC Phase Down Projects in the Philippines. As regards the Kigali Amendment, what should the parties do next?
Thank you, Robbie. So there are a lot of things that the parties should do to make sure that we phase down the use of HFCs. No? So all parties need to be taking active steps, of course, to ratify first the Kigali Amendment and implement the provisions therein, and to start up planning the reduction of their consumption of HCFCs. No? Specific actions required by individual countries fall into a number of different areas, and these include, number one, development of a national strategy to achieve the phase down targets in the most practical and cost-effective way. That is to determine which market sector should take early actions and which may need to wait for further technology development. Number two, there's a need to prepare and implement relevant legislations. For instance, the immediate, as I said, the immediate ratification of Kigali Amendment, and to set up legislation to control HFC use. Number three, they may set up appropriate national level administration systems, that is to monitor and report HFC consumption and to require permits and licenses for the production or import of HCFCs. And number four, engagement with relevant stakeholders to help develop and implement the national HFC phase down strategy. So these are just simple tips, no? What parties should do next, but this will not limit or prevent other countries from making innovations and undertaking measures to address the phasing down of their HCFC use. Robbie, thank you.
Thank you, Yusek Leones. To our media partners over Zoom, the virtual floor is now open for your questions, clarifications regarding our press conference today, which is the World Ozone Day, and of course, the project kickoff of the stage 2 of the HCFC phase out. Seth, do we have questions coming in? Okay, I'm gonna read a question from CNN, Miss Caroline Bonkin. According to Miss Caroline, gaano po kalaki ang impact ng fashion industry sa bansa sa ozone layer depletion? In 2018 daw po kasi, through the DENR inspection in Bulacan, we have seen some bag factories using chemical dyes. Linda, is this related to our project? Yes, chemical dyes. Okay. Gaano po kalaki ang impact ng fashion industry sa bansa? And may follow-up siya, what is the most commonly used chemical that causes ozone layer depletion?
Okay, siguro, since siguro yung sa textile industry yan, since most of the textile industry, siguro masasabi ko lang as a part of addressing the concern, yung mga ginagamit ng nila na related sa chemicals na yung kanilang ginagamit sa kanilang yung mga chemicals na ginagamit that related to the mga na regulated by our chemical control order, and then part of that is yun yung mga chemicals that has yung mga HCFCs and HCFCs. So with that, siguro malaking factor yan na nakaka-contribute sa ating ozone depletion because of especially kung hindi sila pa nag-change ng kanilang mga ginagamit na refrigerant using yung high global warming potential and high ozone depleting potential. So siguro part of that ay pagdating sa chemicals naman, meron tayong chemical control order that regulated the chemicals na ginagamit ng ating mga textile industries. And hindi lang sa atmosphere nag-impact yan, but even in the water pollution natin ay nagkaka-contribute din siya.
Thank you, AD Minda. I think, Ms. Caroline, your question is under the HAZ waste management of the EMB.
Sa totoo lang, wala pa tayong masyadong inventory on the impact of this fashion industry sa ating ozone depleting, no? So ang Montreal Protocol kasi concerned sa refrigeration. So makikita natin yan, tinitingnan natin yan, yung mga global warming potential. So itong fashion more on sa sa water yan, sa mga pollution. But ang concern dito more on gases. So kung makita natin yung mga industry are making use of like for example hydrofluorocarbons sa kanyang refrigeration, yung mga food sector na gumagamit ng refrigerant with high potential global warming potentials. So ito yung nakaka-harm sa ating ozone depleting ozone, no? So ito yung minimize natin. What we have identified are the harmful gases that will affect yung ozone natin. But yung fashion industries na depende yan kung we need to still inventory the industries within the fashion sector kung ano talaga yung mga gases na lumalabas yan na ginagamit nila na merong epekto sa ating ozone layer.
Thank you for the clarification, Yusek Leones. A follow-up question from Ms. Bonkin again. Sa Pilipinas, ano po ang top 3 contributors to climate change or ozone layer depletion? Top 3 industries?
Sige, ako na lang sasagot. So, as I've said, yung mga industries na directly affected by this phase out and phase down program of the government, yung unang-una ay yung ating refrigeration sector, and then the air conditioning sector, and also yung mga heat pump sa sector natin that mostly ang kanilang ginagamit ay mga refrigerants na mostly ay meron ding mga potential for high global warming potential and ozone depleting potential. So these sectors are yun ang highly makikita natin na involved in this phase out and phase down programs of the country.
Thank you, AD Minda. Another question from Mr. Luis Cruz. What are the benefits of the companies or organizations that are complying with replacing ODS or earth-friendly chemicals?
Actually, to address the industries using refrigerants that are potentially with high global warming potential and ozone depleting potential, meron din kaming mga alternatives for that refrigerant. And in fact, hindi naman talaga outright na i-phase out yon because of nag-identify pa tayo ng mga alternatives for that. And I think right now may mga naka-schedule na tayo for those HCFCs and HCFCs na phased out na, and then meron na tayong ni-recommend for alternatives. So, doon sa presentation ko may mga kanya-kanyang mga na tayo naka-schedule na phase out, and then yung mga alternatives natin.
Okay. Next question is from ABS-CBN, Ms. Jasmine Romero. In simple terms, what has the government achieved so far to protect the ozone layer as far as LGUs and national government is concerned? Ano ang pwedeng gawin ng publiko? I think it's for AD Minda again.
So, since the DENR through the Environmental Management Bureau is the one in charge of the Philippines Montreal Protocol phase out program, ay ang bureau is tasked to ensure that the Philippines complies with its commitments to the Montreal Protocol. And of course, as I've said sa presentation ko, all the ozone depleting substances are imported, and we see to it that it complies with its commitments. And also, for that ay maibigay din natin sa public to raise their awareness on the different ODS and their alternatives. And the government also issued policies related on this, the ODS phase out. And also the Philippines with the technical and financial assistance from, mayroon tayong mga financial assistance from the international program, ay isa din yan na ang bureau ay magbibigay din ng assistance with regards to the implementation of the ODS phase out program. And so far, based on our implementation of this program, we have implemented so far more than 94 investments and non-investments projects to phase out the ODS in the country.
Thank you, AD Minda. Second to the last question. How can businesses lessen their GHG emissions and contribute to ozone layer recovery amid the pandemic and lockdown restrictions? Discussion is from Business World reporter, Ms. Angelica Yang.
I think there's only one responsibility that is required to be undertaken. Based on the presentation a while ago, the main purpose of the Montreal Protocol is to reduce global warming ozone-depleting substances with high global warming potential. So this can be used as guide for our industries. We have already cited several alternatives, although it's not yet enough. But the business sector, although it will entail additional costs on their part to undertake a more friendly, environment-friendly substances, especially in the use of refrigerants. But at least the DNR through the EMB has given them some options, and by doing so, by using only environment-friendly substance that will not deplete the ozone layer. So yun lang siguro yung ating obligasyon ng mga business. Wala naman tayong kailangan gawin. So wag lang tayong gumamit ng mga mura na mga substance sa ating air conditioning na talagang may high global warming potential, because this will really exacerbate the situation of our ozone layer. Based on our study, because of our effort in phasing down these substances, medyo nakita natin nagkakaroon na ng pagliit ng hole dito sa ating ozone layer, at if we continue to phase down and ultimately phase out this harmful ozone depleting substance, we can heal this problem, we can address this problem, and ultimately we will make this planet a better place to live in. Thank you.
Thank you, Yusek Yones. Ma'am Bell?
Yes, if I may add, for the industry, I mean, the government already has a concrete plan on the phase out, which is the gradual phase out on the use of the HCFCs. So the United Nations Industrial Development Organization is also providing assistance to the industries who are actually using the refrigerants that are to be phased out. But this will be based on the phase out schedule. But like for example, for this project, HPMP Stage 2 project, the objective is to help the government and the industry to remove the use of, or to stop the use of HCFC-22 in the aircon manufacturing sector. The good thing is that our local aircon manufacturers right now, they did the transition on their own, using their own funds in order to produce an ozone-friendly and environment-friendly aircons. So, yun po yung maganda po sa ating industry, kasi even prior to the implementation of the phase-out, they are actually looking for ways on how to help the government get rid of these refrigerants na masama sa ating ozone layer and sa ating environment. So that's one po. Aside from that, we will also be providing assistance to the servicing sector, because I think it was asked a while ago na kung sino yung mga gumagamit karamihan nitong mga refrigerants na ito. Of course, yung manufacturing sector, because they are using it for their production, like producing the aircons, producing the refrigerators, producing the equipment that are requiring the use of cooling refrigerants. Kasi po, pag sinabi po nating ozone-depleting substances, these are substances na ginagamit para lumamig palamigin ang isang equipment. One of the examples of yung mga high global warming na hydrofluorocarbons, yun pong ginagamit natin sa ating mga sasakyan. Actually, more than 90% of yung mga sasakyan po ngayon is using R134A or HCFC-134A, which has a very high GWP value. So in the future, once the Philippines ratify the Kigali Amendment, which is the phase down of HFCs, soon po, eventually, yung refrigerant na ginagamit sa mga mobile aircons po ngayon, it will be phased down. It will be removed and it will be replaced with a better one, an alternative one that is good for our environment. So one of the mga advice po na pwede nating mabanggit para sa ating public is that in order for us to help po na medyo mas stop po ang depletion of the ozone layer and also to help our yung sa climate, we have to stop using the ozone depleting substances. Do not patronize equipment or products that are using these substances na may capacity to destroy the ozone layer. So, yun po. Yun yung general advice na pwede po namin masabi. And then when you purchase like the aircons, mga refrigerators, always check the label. Tingnan nyo po doon kung ano yung sa likod ng ref or doon sa aircon, may label naman po yon. Makikita nyo kung ano yung klase ng refrigerant na ginamit doon sa aircon na yon. And then, of course, patronize ozone-friendly services. We would like to emphasize this, no? Kasi hindi po ba ang pinaprevent natin is for these gases na hindi siya mag-escape sa ating atmosphere. Kasi yun po yung nakakasira sa ating ozone layer. So what we would like to advocate in this phase out is that we have to change the behavior of those handling the refrigerants. For example po, yung mga nagre-repair ng ating mga aircons, mga refrigerators, kailangan po, we have to advocate for the change of their behavior kasi kapag nag-repair po sila ng mga old refs and aircons, baka po kasi napapasingaw. And that is the primary aim of the Montreal Protocol, which is to prevent the leakage, to prevent the venting out of these harmful chemicals. Kasi pwede naman po siyang hindi pasingawin as long as we have the proper tools and equipment to recover those refrigerants. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bell, for that very comprehensive response. Moving forward, let us hear a short closing message from Yusek Jonas Leones.
Thank you, Robbie. So, wala na mga questions. So maybe that ends our forum or discussion on ozone-depleting substances and substances that have high potential, global warming potential. So as a last message to everyone, so Montreal Protocol is a piece of legislation or international commitment that is very important in protecting the environment. So I always tell my friends and my colleagues that what environment we have now is not for us alone. No? We owe this to our next generation, and we have the responsibility to protect this so that the next generation can also enjoy what we are enjoying right now. So one way of making sure that this objective will be fulfilled is compliance dito sa ating international commitment, itong Montreal Protocol, and nasabi ng ating kasama rito si AD Minda and Belrose na one way the stakeholders can help us in the government to make sure that we protect the environment are itong phase down ng tinatawag nating ozone-depleting substance, particularly itong hydrofluorocarbons. Nasabi nakita natin kanina na marami ng mga sectors na gumagamit ng mga ozone-friendly substance, like for example, hydrocarbons. In fact, itong mga domestic refrigerator sectors natin, gumagamit na yan ng mga friendly ozone substance. And then itong ating car manufacturer industry. So may mga major transition na silang ginagawa dyan para magkaroon sila, gumamit sila ng mga maayos at tamang refrigerant. So ito yung dapat nating gawin, no? Sa mga industries. Let us observe yung ating phase down timelines, and at the same time sa other agencies naman in the government, we appeal to them that we support the immediate ratification then ng Kigali Amendment, because this amendment is very important because this will pave the way for the phase down of our HCFCs, and then this will also provide us mga flexible approach in addressing yung pag-phase down natin ng HFCs, no, dito sa ating bansa. So with that, Robbie, I thank you for giving us the opportunity to participate in this important forum, especially itong araw na ito na International Day of Ozone-Depleting Substance, yung Ozone Day natin, and we hope that our countrymen will also participate in our active pursuit in protecting our ozone layer. Thank you.
Thank you, Yusek Leones. Just a reminder to our media partners, we shared a link in the chat box. It's the press kit for today's press conference. Basically, andun po lahat ng presentations ng ating resource speakers, the schedules of phase out, andun din po. So no worries, you have a reference. Okay, again, thank you very much for taking the time to join us today. We hope for your continuing support to all the DNR programs and projects, especially on the country's commitments on the phase out of ozone-depleting substances. Maraming salamat. You may now leave the Zoom meeting. Stay safe, everyone.